Hey there, welcome to day 5 of my 1 a day challenge. My name is Rebecca. I set this up nearly a week ago to basically having problems with commitment. I wanted to commit to posting 1 video a day as I just feel I've got a lot of wisdom to share. And I immediately have been on quite a big journey with it after having a flashback of being sexually abused as a child, which was completely unexpected. I just cover this at the beginning of every video just in case it's the first one you're picking up, but you know, you can track back through my other videos to kind of see my journey so far. This one nearly didn't happen. I nearly didn't do it today. It's like 9:30 now in the evening and I've had a pretty tough day. I don't know, that's not the right word. I'm in a very surreal place right now. I woke up kind of feeling like super conscious, very still, very calm, very powerful, very connected, and really feeling my body, like actually feeling like I inhabit it. Such a strange sensation for me. You know, now that I've started to experience this today, I have the contrast of how I was before, and everything in my reality, the only way I can describe it, everything in my reality is usually like here upwards. So I just don't really have any awareness of what is going on down below. I can know that I feel guilty. I can kind of like, you know, I do healing, so I can put my hands on different places on my body for healing purposes, but it's always been this kind of disconnect there. So I just woke up feeling like, oh my God, this is my body. Like, I don't know, like I've been reborn in a way, like I'm experiencing it for the first time. And I was looking in front of the mirror and I was stretching and I was kind of like, yeah, I'm actually really feeling this. And then this was just accompanied by like a really high, blissful state of consciousness. So I did a tarot reading afterwards, which was like, oh my God, it was amazing. It was talking all about, it was basically almost completely about emotional mastery. And it was a really positive reading and very lovely, and kind of gave me a bit of faith and hope for what I'm going through now, because I do know that I'm transitioning here, and I feel like I'm on the cusp of a major shift in consciousness, and a real kind of stepping into my power. You know, I actually read in a notebook, I don't know where it is at the moment actually, but I wrote a couple of weeks ago, I was like, I'm ready to let go of these issues I have about feeling guilty, you know, all the rest of it. I was like, I declare to the universe, I want to let this go now. And of course, I can't do that without knowing what's the cause of it. And so it's almost like that was my intention. I set it with absolute conviction. And so this has come up for healing. So that was the first half of the day. And then oh my God, I had such an awesome afternoon. After doing that, I had my morning smoothie, which is all like superfoods, and I felt great after that. And then I put some music on and I just danced around my room like a crazy person, and I was like, oh my God, I'm in my body, this is so awesome, I feel so good. And then I was like working out, and I was like doing some weights and things, and I was like not doing it from a point of view of pressure on myself, but just because I thought, oh, I want to move those parts of my body and kind of experience that. And I was so excited. I actually started to feel that. But then, I kind of crashed afterwards, and it's almost like I expanded so much that it had to contract again. And having tapped into that level of power, I think I almost like pushed it so far beyond that, like a rubber band, it just pinged back in again, and it's almost like I went the other way. And so I started getting very anxious, very tearful, really like just terrified. I was crying a lot, and all my old eating disorder stuff came up, and I was like, I have to stuff my face. I was like, oh my God, I really need to eat a lot now. And so I started eating, and then I don't actually have much food at the moment. I just made myself like a really healthy stir fry, and then I was like, I need to get some food in anyway. So I went into central London, to go and get some food, and I just basically ate a lot on my way when I was in London, on my way back. And I did actually think about making myself sick, but I didn't. And so I'm re-experiencing those feelings of what it's like to have an eating disorder, and that's quite scary. But the fear is in the fear of losing myself to it rather than the actual feeling itself. I've been observing myself. It's like the anxiety is based in the judgment that I'm placing on myself for being in that state. Because when I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I'm a void, I have to fill it with something, I have to fill it with food, then I'm judging myself. You know, the things that are going through my head are, oh, you're so disgusting, you know, you're never going to lose weight, you're going to be fat forever, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, okay, if I actually feel the feeling of actually desiring the food, firstly, if I really, really connect, it just dissipates. But secondly, if I just feel that feeling, actually that feeling's okay, it's just a desire for something. And then you eat, and then it's like, okay, you know, it's kind of like, it's more simple. It's just when the judgment of yourself in that dynamic comes in that it gets more complicated. And I was messaging my friend Carolina at the same time, and she just wrote me the most beautiful, beautiful message that had me in floods of tears on the train and completely changed my perspective. And I'm going to share this, and I'm going to share it for, I mean, you know, these videos, I guess, are for anyone really. Anyone, but particularly people who have experienced some kind of abuse or they've been in some kind of victim dynamic. And then this specifically for people who've suffered from eating disorders, or even actually probably anyone, because our relationship with food is so emotional. So this is what Carolina said. She's awesome. I'm very, very lucky to have her as a friend. Thank you, Carolina. Our bodies tell us exactly where we are. Your impulse to stuff yourself is perfect. You judged your body for having developed coping mechanisms, and you labelled them anorexia and bulimia, when your body was actually doing everything to protect you and to cope with the trauma itself. It was its natural response to what happened. And after all these years of your body keeping you alive, you still step against its impulses and judge its wisdom to keep you alive. Your body did the best it could all this time. This is the beginning of your new loving relationship with your body. Appreciating its wisdom to keep you alive. Forgiving yourself for judging your body's impulses. Your body did the best it could to deal with the abuse. Your body is innocent. Wow. So, what I'm going to leave you with is there is a technique called Ho'oponopono, which is a Hawaiian prayer. And the idea is that you repeat these words and you kind of say them with feeling and meaning. And it can be towards a person or a situation or towards yourself. And it just shifts the whole thing into whatever attachments and judgments and kind of like ego stuff you've got going on with it, whether it is a person or a situation. It shifts it into a space of love. And what you say is, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And I think tonight I'm going to do that with my body. Just say, body, you've adapted to hide this trauma from me because it would have been too painful for me. You've kept me going, and seriously, I don't want to beat it up anymore. I don't want to feel separate from it. I don't want to be disgusted by it. I want to embrace it as being an aspect of myself that I love. So I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me and thank you. And that's what I'm going to do. So thank you for watching. Have a beautiful evening and namaste.